Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Southpain Auto Channel. Sitting inside a 2018 Chevrolet. It's a Silverado. It's a 1500. According to this, it's got the big 4.3. Don't see them very often. I'm kind of surprised. It kind of makes me want to go look. I didn't even notice that when I popped the hood to put the maintainer on it. This one has a problem that I've never fixed before, which is also unusual on a Chevy, especially one this old. The rear slider doesn't work, the rear window. I push the switch up and down, nothing works. So there's that. I don't know anything about them. But what I do know is that, turn the key on, dummy. We got a whole bunch of no-coms here. Okay, let's do a fault scan on it before we get started, like in service info and stuff, and just see. There we go. Now the ECM's talking. There's a lot more green lights. I assume it probably goes to the body module, or at least 13 other computers before it hits the back window. So let's see if there's any codes in it that makes sense. Lost comm with device on LIN bus. That's in the chassis module. Body module parasitic load. That's interesting. Audio stuff. Power low. Drive cycles complete. Disclaimer. Okay. So not much useful stuff there. Let's just go in the body module just in case. In case this has function controls for Windows. We'll go to special functions here. Let's see. Got some clear driver's window, passenger window, clear left rear, right rear, window learn values. Let's go to active tests. Let's go to Windows. And this only controls the front windows, driver, left rear, passenger, and right rear. So that's interesting. I'm going to jump into some live data here. And let's see, we have all parameters. We have window data. So let's go on window data. We won't go too far off in the weeds with this, I promise. Right rear, left rear, passenger, left rear, right rear, driver's window. Oh, very interesting. Well, let's do this. Let's back up here. We'll hit the back arrow, push and hold down here on the bottom left hand corner of the screen. We get nothing. We're going to push and hold again, push and hold again, push and hold, push and hold. Nope. Let's go to the engine controller. I'm trying to copy the VIN down here in the bottom corner. Yeah, there we go. We finally got her now, boys. Let's get on some service info. Let's put our VIN number in here, and let's see if we can find this. We'll go to service manual. Let's see, we'll go body and frame, and then we'll go windows, fixed and movable. Let's see here. You know what, before we do that, let's just look here, because sometimes this can shortcut our process. We'll get our wiring diagram here. So let's go to power windows. That's power window circuit. Let me just see if they have a separate one. They do right here. So sliding rear window circuit. Who's in control? Sliding rear motor. We have a switch. Whoa, is there no computer? What the world? No computer. I find that very difficult to believe. That's old school, old son. So it looks like we have a closed relay, we have an open relay, right instrument panel fuse block, right side of dash. Okay, and then you can look here. We do have up in the top right hand corner there, rear sliding window fuse, a 30 amp fuse. Just trying to see how this whole rigmarole works here. Okay, and then hot with retained accessory power up in the top left corner of the screen here is where I'm reading. SEO wrap fuse. I don't remember what SEO stands for right offhand. Wrap is retained accessory power. Okay, and that goes up, that feeds that. Okay, so they're constant ground. Okay, so they're power side switch relays from the rear, from this window switch. So this window switch over here, let me click on this so we can enhance. So your window switch, when you push it up or down, it sends power out on the white wire or that yellow with purple wire. And that goes through a few connections and then comes up and powers the control side of the relay. Let me just see if we hear anything clicking other than the plastic. Let's see. Let me roll the windows up here, because that would be a big clue for us. No, I don't hear any clicking, opening or closing. So instead of looking at theory and operation, we can pretty much see that right here on this diagram. So I say we just get after that. Let's check the fuses, see what's going on there. Yeah, that sliding motor. I went back there and looked. I mean, you can see the cable. There's a cable. I don't even know how these things work. There's a cable track across the bottom. I assume the motor must be in the back wall there, or over in a C-pillar or something. Let's start simple. Let's start with our powers and whatnot there at the fuses, and then we'll go from there. So I've got our test light here. I'm going to clip it right on the door latch. It's one of my favorite places to get a ground because it's usually always shiny, at least here in the Rust Belt. Okay, we need, what did it say? SEO wrap.
Wicka wicka.
SEO wrap. Left side of dash, SEO ALC. That's not it. Alright, enough pretending that you can see what you're doing. Stand by. Magnifying spectacles have been obtained. Oh, it's right there, number 2. SEO wrap, right under the APO2. So fuse number 2. Let me figure out which direction this little fella fits in here. I don't know if that's it. Is this it? It's annoying when they don't put a arrow or something on here. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, 1, 2, 3 with a 1, 2 barbecue, so it goes exactly like this, like you would stand it up and read it. So fuse number 2, 10 amp. There's going to be this guy here, which is full power, which is supposed to be power in wrap or when that ignition 1 relay is on, which I'm kind of surprised that had power currently, because I had the key in the off position, and the retain accessory power should be off as well. Let me make sure. Wait a god dang minute now. Make sure this lines up. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, sugar. Damn fuse is gone. Because the fuse I'm testing is fuse number 3, which is UGDO ISRVM. I don't know. And Chevy usually doesn't use a lot of acronyms, but boy, they use a lot of them on this. Okay. Well, this seems. Whoop, you still there, boys? Seems kind of stupid. Let me go get a 10 amp fuse. What kind of fuse are they? Well, actually, there's extra fuses here. Oh, okay, it's these funny business ones. Let me go see if I got a funny business fuse. Actually, there's a 15 right here. 15's probably good enough, right? See if it goes up in smoke. I don't want to push it in all the way. Let me just see if the window works. Oh, did you guys just hear that? Kapow! Did I just hear a kapow? I'm pretty sure I just heard a kapow. That was a 15. Yes, sir. Okay, so that's your problem, lady. Why the frig didn't this lady tell me that damn thing is blowing a fuse? You could have shortcutted me about 5 minutes worth of time. I don't know. Say less, pay less is what they always think. Okay, because somebody knew about it because the freaking fuse is gone. And there ain't no way in hell somebody would have found that fuse unless she took it to a shop who had a wire diagram, because you're not going to be like, oh, my rear window doesn't work. Let me check my SEO wrap fuse. All right, yeehaw. Well, plans have changed, folks. Plans have changed. Well, we're going to have to get back in here. So if we look at the power window, so this is the fuse that's blowing, this SEO wrap fuse, but it doesn't feed just the rear window switch, so don't let that be a red herring to you. It looks like that wire goes somewhere else. So power distribution systems. Let's go power distribution. Let's control F this baby. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go SE to the O. We're gonna hit find. Okay, SEO wrap right there. That's this fuse right here. Okay, and that feeds sliding rear window switch, which we know. Sunroof motor, which just doesn't have the hole in the roof. Comes down here to the instrument panel junction block, lower left side of dash, not used, not used. But that has this number 3 with a circle on it, which is something else. Let's see if we can find what that means. It's usually in the first diagram. Number 3, with memory. Means with memory. Okay. SEO wrap with memory. Okay, so we don't, it's a possibility because that wire's running there. So then it also goes to the mobile device wireless charger module, diagram 1 of 7, letter N. So let's scoot back up here, see if we can find this. N, where's the N? Where's the big N? N right there. Mobile device wireless charger if equipped. Okay, that's this guy right here, left hand, right here in the middle of your screen. Accessory ignition voltage. Where's the wireless charger in this? That must be this thing right here. So that's this little guy. Lots of paperwork in here you guys probably shouldn't see. Well, I'm not gonna go digging through there. You never know what you'll find. You always have to be careful. Don't go digging through stuff. About the day you get poked with a needle you don't want to get poked with, that's when you'll be upset. Not that this is a situation here, but I always go poking with a poking apparatus. Okay, well, we have options here. You know, we could be shorted damn near anywhere. So I see this thing's hanging out of the roof. You know, probably from where I see greasy fingerprints all over it. So somebody's must have just yanked. So that's a possibility. So what can we do? Let me look at this fuse box. Okay, I don't know if there's any pluggers on the back of the fuse box, but here's your option. Here's what I would do if and it were me. Because we're dealing with more than one circuit, I would go to power windows. I would come down here and I would see, can we identify on the back of the fuse, on this connector X3 pin 11, 2 wires, can we identify which one of those is carrying the current? Which one, which single wire? How can we isolate this, Eric? What's going to be your best route, your best option? We could go to X316, wherever that lives. We could look that up. We could unplug that. Check to see if we still have a short. If we still have a short, then we know it has nothing to do with the rear window switch. Or if we unplug that and it's miraculously solved, it doesn't blow a fuse, we'll say, then we know our problem's in that circuit, which would seem kind of odd. I'm betting more on charger. We're talking a lot of wire, and there's a lot of wire moving around. First and foremost, visual inspection. Secondly, I would be inclined to find these two wires, connector X3, pin 11, find those two wires coming out. What we could do, the easiest way would be to stick a light bulb, stick a headlamp across there, like a 4-amp light, and then just use a current clamp on either one of those two wires and say, where's the current going? Because the current's going to go to the path of ground, which one of those wires is shorted, and then we at least know which way to go, but do we really? Because how do we know which wire goes where? Let's see, easiest solution again is 316 available. If it's not, what do we have for connectors on that other system? Okay, does that make sense? Go back here to power distribution. Let's find that SEO wrap fuse again. It was down here somewhere. Okay, that's SEO ALC right there. And we come here, I went past it. Okay, SEO wrap, so there we are. So we do have, yeah, X318, X316. Okay, so X316, and then, oh, sugar. There is actually 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. So good thing we came back to this diagram. So we have 4 coming out, 4 separate wires, possibly with or without memory. This does not, I assume it means memory seats. This does not have memory seats. But again, I don't know if that's, what that means by memory. So the viable option is to disconnect X316. Let me see where this connector X3 lives and connector X1. Are they easily accessible on this? I'm sorry. Number 3 here was on this actual diagram. That's my mistake. It means except base equipment. Okay. That's my mistake. I thought they always put the footnotes on the first diagram, but clearly they were right here in front of my face. My mistake. So didn't mean to mislead you. In either case, it doesn't change anything. We still have 4 possible wires that could be shorted that are blowing that fuse. That's the only possibility. Let me see if X3, X1, if they're easily accessible. We need to narrow down which circuits it's on at the end of the day, and there's multiple ways to do that. All right, let's try this, folks. I pop this, the fuse box just pops out of here so you can get to all the connectors, plus the 2 relays that are on the back there, whatever they run. I want to stick our fuse, our temporary fuse, just here in the fuse box. Let's see if this should light up when we turn the key on. Okay, that lights up indicating it's shorted. Now, looking on the wiring diagram, I'm not going to pull it back on your screen, but connector X3. So that's, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that one down there that had the double donger running out of it. One for the sunroof and one for the sliding rear window switch. Now I looked, connector X3 is this connector here, pin number 11. And there's only one single wire out of pin 11, purple with yellow. So it must be, because it only has the sliding rear window, it doesn't have 2 wires like I indicated. However, I think we can just leave this unplugged, cut that key back on. Uh-oh, we still have a short. Briggity prig hole. Been nice if it was just on that single circuit. Okay, so we know that, well, we know a lot of things. One thing we know is that if we leave this unplugged, let's see here, for example, like there, we could run power to that single wire, and we could run that window open and closed, and we could prove that. We could prove our theory there. Probably do it through our light here. Good possibility. Service trailer brakes, service this, service that, service everything. Okay, we had latched the door. Door's latched. Bing bong. Bing bong, who's there? Which side of this fuse has got the power? That size does. Let's see, pin number 11, that was our top guy. Run that in there. Okay, so if our switch was shorted, that would be lit up right now. Let me push the button. It may move the window, it may light up the switch. Hey, the window opens and closes. Can you guys hear it? Let me show you, because I know we have trust issues. Ready? Can you see back there? See it over there? Okay? Proved it to you. Set you back down carefully. Well, we know one thing, lady. It ain't nothing to do with your window. All right, well, the downside is now we know that it has to do with this other circuit, this circuit on connector X1, pin number 44, which goes to the mobile device charging module, and it goes to the instrument panel junction block, a not used splice pack of some sort, except base equipment, which it has that wire somewhere. It's instrument panel junction, lower left side of dash. So that's interesting. I'm more curious about a lot of things. The sucky part is connector X1 is this big honky tonk right here. Pin 44. Let's see if we can find that one. Well, we're looking purple and yellow, and I don't think there's many purple and yellows on here. There should only be possibly just the one. I didn't go this far as looking this up, so I see purple whites, purple greens, purple green, purple green. You're gonna get mad at me, Chevy, for doing this, but we're gonna get her done. Be some dinging. Let's see. I see the number 1 up there and the number 9. That's weird. Because that would not be number 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know how they got number 9 up there. Purple yellow. Purple black. Okay, guess we're gonna have to look on the diagram. Pretty sure it was this one. Maybe it was this one. I could be wrong on a whole bunch of different levels. All I know is it wasn't this one, and it was a bigger connector. I thought for sure it was just gonna be that one on the back. Got purple yellow down here, boys. Okay. So it's that lower connector that has the purple yellow. So we're going to do this. Unplug that. Looks good. Let's see, purple yellow. Number 1, number 9 on that one as well. Weird labeling. Okay, so I got a purple yellow up here that has 2 wires coming out of the same hole, which is plausible. Let's do this. Let's go back in service info, find out for sure, because that one is in the very top corner and it's supposed to be pin number 44. So let's look this up. So Mitchell with their interactive diagrams here, we can enhance. We're going to click on the X1 right there. It doesn't work really well on mobile. Mitchell on Demand in general doesn't. The zoom feature kind of sucks. Component connector. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go. All right, I've probably scrolled past it, so we're going to hit the back arrow here. We're going to hit component location. And we're gonna go X51L, fuse block, instrument panel left, X1. I hit the wrong button, so we're gonna hit the back arrow. Component locator. Let's see. Here we go. All right, number 44. Oh, number 44 is in the top corner, just as we anticipated. Let's see, let's go down here to number 44. Survey says, violet with yellow accessory ignition voltage. All right, so there's a couple of those. All right, so we know we're on the right wire. Now we need to figure out which wire of those two wires. And does it matter if we know? I don't know. Let's go back here, close that. Well, it'd be nice, because if it's this one down here that's dead-headed, down here, very bottom of your screen, so you come down, you start up here in the middle, pin 44, that goes down. It would be really nice if it's that one that's not used. We'll just cut the wire, call it a day. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we need to prove it. Let me go get a pair of side cutters, cut this zip tie. Let's gain access to that. We'll give the customers options. It is a 2018. They may not want to put any money into it, just given the age of it. What's it got on it for miles? Over 150, so she's just about ready for the scrap heap. Let's cut the zip tie and finish our diagnosis. There's that. Oh, purple wires, here you are, staring right at me. Purple wires. It's a song I just made up called Purple Wires. Might have to turn the camera off to pry on this a little bit. Try to get this little blue cover off here. Little blue cover, come off from there. That's a song I just made up as well. She's a double latcher. Does that mean when I pull it out, every freaking wire is going to go flying out? I hope not. Because then we'd have to pretend we didn't see it. Put it all back together. Okay. Okay, go get a flashlight, slip that pin out of there, plug it back in, stick a fuse in it, tell her we got it fixed. She didn't complain about anything else, am I right? Let's see, got us a flashlight. Grab the old needle out of the hat trick. Get a hold of this wire on the back side here, see if I can't get it to release. Come on, baby. I can't not get the hold of that latch. I see it. I'm flicking it. Let me go get a pocket screwdriver. Got to get where I can hold the connector and hit that release tab all at the same time. Okay, I think I have it released. Push, push, push. Boom. Okay, there we go. We have it. We have a full release. We have that out of pin 44. Now, before we hit the stupid level, we don't want anything bad to happen. We don't want none of this junk popping out. In theory, if we can figure out how it plugs back in, leave that like that. Little guy on the back side, like that. Little guy on the front side. We got dingers. Let's go get a 10 amper, stick it in there. In theory, if we're right, this should light up the fuse if this circuit by itself is shorted. And it does, so that circuit is 100% dead shorted. Now we can figure out which wire, but that is kind of irrelevant because we have no way to know which way which wire goes. But we should be able to put the fuse in it, make the lady's window work, and at that point, give the lady the option. But first, what needs to be done, we can put this back in. What needs to be done is we need to do our due diligence. We need to do our homework. Okay, that one's back in. Lock tab there, lock tab on top. We need to do our homework and say, is there any service bulletins? Is there, any common issues? We need to look, because at this point, we've done what we need to do. We've isolated the circuit. This individual circuit is shorted, okay. Nothing to do with the window switch, overhead console, none of that. Has to do with either the charger or that rogue wire that goes nowhere. And so now I feel at this point it's okay to look on sources like Identifix or Diag.net or IATN. Has anybody posted a fixing this circuit? And if they have, where's the problem? Where has the problem been? And use that to shortcut our process. There's no shame in doing that because we've already done the hard work. So let me get the correct fuse, the 10 amp, stick in there, verify it, and then at this point, like I said, I got to give the lady the option. All right, I found one here in my bag of fuses, and that went up here. 10 amp. Let's see if the window works. Window works. Oh, let's make sure the truck still runs. Oh yeah, Chevy Thunder. All right. We still got every light in the dash on, which is the way it came in. Okay. You know what the plan is. Part of the process is. I'm gonna go do a little research. You folks stand by. I'll let you know what we figure out. Sounds like Lawnmower Man made it all the way over here. All right, let's go. Technical Service Bulletins. We'll type in window. I would be surprised if there is. Something I haven't ran across yet here. Okay, sunroof. Let's do sunroof because same fuse. Oh, I'll be damned. Look at that. Sunroof, rear sliding window, wireless charger inoperative, fuse F2 Delta Lima or F8 Delta Lima open. Give us a smoking gun here, baby. Silver bullet time. Inspect the center console harness at any part of the hinge area for chafing. You mother lover. Look at that. Created in 2021. No kidding, huh? I'll be a son of a gun. So, what's this thing fit? 15 to 20s. Man, I can't believe this is something I haven't ran across yet. Yeah, it's a service bulletin issued about 5 years ago. Huh. I work on an awful lot of Chevys. So I guess before we even call our customer, let's investigate into this. I don't know how this junk comes apart here. It looks like this back may come off the box, which that would be hella sweet. Yeah, well, I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show. As I mentioned, there's a lot of stuff in here. Pack of Marb Reds, lots of personal information. Yeah, let me get a prying apparatus, see what we can figure out. All right, boys, let's see if we can't figure this thing out. I looked in service info. Frustrating. AF, we'll say. Extremely frustrating trying to find some of the trim removal stuff. You know, you and I call it a center console. You know, they have different names, and of course General Motors has, you know, 50 different configurations that it uses inside the vehicle, which is frustrating. This is how we do it. Unplug the cigar lighter. There it is. So the reason you don't pull out and you pull up is because of how these little clips go in. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of those. But screw that. We're looking for the short in and around the hinge area. Purple yellow wire. Got our purple and yellow here. What we got up in here, boys? Anything? Come on, old son. Open sesame. Show me where you're rubbing, baby. There it is. Well, that's weird. It's a broken wire. It's not the wire we're after, but is it shorted? Is it shorted to what we need it to be shorted to? Let's unplug this. We're laying in the back seat together. How's that make you feel? Not to make it weird, but we're making it weird. There's that. Unplug it. If the black one broke, then the purple one's got to be rubbed through. Oh shit, they're all broke. What's your problem, lady? All 3 of your wires are broke. 1, 2, 3. That, lady, is your problem, literally. The problem is, well, actually there's extra wire. If we fix those, then what? Then what? Is it gonna just break because it's right on the hinge point again? Because that's what looks like what happened here. What do? Do you sell the lady a whole new lid? You need a new lid, lady. Yeah, they go up there. It's gonna be a lot of chafing. That's a lot of opening and closing. Well, so this is the problem fixing door flexes and stuff. And bravo to GM. And let this be a lesson to you to gather your information. I want to say, you know, see what's wrong with it. Don't spend a lot of time with it. You know, we didn't spend a lot of time with this. We did it live. You saw, I was there, you were there. Gather some information, and then always check service bulletins. Check service bulletins. You know, use your resources like, you know, I mentioned IATN, diag.net, Identifix. Those services are there for, you know, for professional technicians, if you will. I hate that term, but you know, utilize those sources. People have published, hey, you know, I found you know, customer came in, this wire was broke, here's where it was. But don't use it as your first step to find out what's wrong with the car, because it'll just make you stupid. You know, you still need to know how to diagnose, which is what we did. But in this situation, I don't know what to do. Like I say, we can repair the wires, but they're in a pretty bad spot. They're in a bad spot because we're going to put the only way we can fix it is, you know, crimp and seal and or solder. Either case, you end up with a hard joint right there, a non-flexible joint. And we can't really tape it very well. Problem is, if you fix a customer's car and you sell it to them as fixed, then it freaking breaks. Like, you just fixed that. Well, I did a crappy job, lady. What can I tell you? Well, I tell you what, we can fix it. We'll say fix it just for demonstration purposes only, and then I'll just recommend that she needs this harness. I don't know if they sell this separate. Made in Mexico. There's part number 3338889er89er. Delphi part number. And then another part number over here of an 8419er3710. Back in 2018 this thing was made. Okay, well, gosh, I hate fixing this. I don't really want to fix it because I can't tape it. I can't do anything. Not without pulling the whole darn thing apart, pulling the inside of that cover apart, pulling this out. I don't want a repeat failure. And that 100% will break again if I fix it with solid wire connections. Crap. Well, like I say, the truck's probably not long for the world anyways. Yeah, let's just do it, and then I'll just say that we provided a temporary repair. Kind of do a little CYA on my invoice, which means cover your hiney. And yeah, we'll call it a day. And then I'll just quote her on, you know, the proper repair, and then she can choose whether or not she fixes it. The other option is just, you know, I can tell her like, hey, if you don't want to fix it or it breaks again in the future, just unplug it and or fix it. Your call. Just waiting for it to cool down. I just used 3 open barrel crimps, really tiny ones. Stuck them on there, heat shrink them. Really not much we can do short of tearing everything apart to get up there and tape it up. But like I say, this will just be we'll call it proof of concept. Proof of concept, temporary repair. Here's what you need, lady, because we got this far. Her wireless phone charger will work now, which is kind of nice, huh? She'll be happy about that. But yeah, this rubs just sits down here, just rubbing away on this hinge. I don't know, could you zip tie that back? You know, if you zip tied that there, would that be helpful in any way, shape, or oh nope, you can't, because that needs to be able to pull up and down. Okay, so that whole harness just moves up and down. Yeah, not much we can do about it, folks. I am not a big advocate of the you need a harness cliche, we'll say. But in this case, this is one of those cases where I'd be like, yeah, you need the harness, lady. It's easy to get to. That's all reattached. We'll put the screws back to it. Put the screws right to it. And while I was waiting for the heat shrink to cool down, I went ahead and put our pin back in there, number 44. if we had checked the fuse initially, now if this lady came in and said, hey, I've already been somewheres, they're the ones that destroyed the upper console in the headliner, and they're the ones that said it's got a blown fuse, and they said they don't know what's wrong with it. Will you take a look at it? I'd be like, oh, heck yeah, lady. And it would have shortcutted our process just slightly. Because we would have went, verified, yep, the fuse is blown. We would have stuck a fuse or a circuit breaker in there, verified that it was blown, or blowing, or actively blowing. And then we would have done the same process, because I probably wouldn't have checked for a service bulletin until I had my foundation as far as what circuit, what was wrong, what's going on, whatnot, and what have you. So would have saved a few minutes, but not a lot of minutes. Anyhow, that's it. Should work now. We're out of here. Okay, get this out of the way. Yeah, like I said, just pop that little guy back together. Let's see, set this over here. Cut the key on. We don't have any keys. Oh, they're up here. Key is cut on. Service trailer brake, perfect. Does the window work? Window works. Can you see it in the mirror? Huzzah! Okay. Open and close the driver's window because it's got to relearn the express function because we had it unhooked. Alright, express function works. Service trailer brakes. Hood open. Boom. Okay. Now does this thing work? Nope, because my phone's too fat. Probably the problem with half people's. Oh, she almost worked. Where you at, baby? I heard it ding. Ah, frig it. It did ding there for a second, but oh, there it goes. Yep. So yeah, as you can see, she's charging now. 74 percentile. Now if we take it off, that should turn back white, and it does. Boom. Nailed it. Perhaps some of you folks have already seen this. I haven't. And like I said, I'm pretty surprised because I work on a lot of Chevys. A lot of them have this thing too because it's usually full of change and roaches, mostly. That's the clientele I mostly work with. Everything smells like the Mary Jane. Every freaking car that comes in here. I don't know if they got to sit in the parking lot and pull bong hits before they drop the car off or what, but man, sometimes they come in. Then I got to explain to my customers when they walk in, the whole shop reeks like the weed, the devil's lettuce. Like, hey, that's not mine. We're not out here getting all smoked up and working on your cars. Otherwise, we'd be like, yee, ha, ha, ha. We'd be laughing and giggling and having a good time. But we're not. We're super serious when we work on cars. That's it. Service bulletin kind of led us in the right direction after we gained our knowledge. And that's what I would encourage you to do so. But definitely always check service bulletins. You know, that's a good thing. It ain't cheating. It ain't cheating. But know what you're looking for first. In this case, now this is a case where would the service bulletin immediately have led you to the right problem? Absolutely. Like, oh yeah, no, this stuff works. Oh, fuse is blown. I'm not even going to test anything. I'm just going to tear this apart and have a look. Boom, nailed it. This time, you nailed it. There are certain situations where it's a big swing and a miss, if you know what I'm saying, which ultimately wastes time. Now, had you known how to take this thing apart and wanted to take a big fat guess, oh yeah, boom, you would have got it. If this is like, all right, well, they say the problem could be here, and it's like a 1-2 hour job to get to it, that's a fat waste of time. Verify, trust but verify, I would say, and that's how we always look at it when we look at these problems is, can we identify which circuit, and what's the easiest thing to do? What's the next best step, if you will? Once we identify, the circuit, where can we break this down easily and quickly? And then from there, we go out here on the big part of the funnel and we we go right down to that little point of the funnel. And then from there, you know, you may have to make a decision. Okay, customer, you know, we've narrowed it down to, down to this. Here's how much time it could take to find the issue. Here's your options. And that's where we were at when we depinned number 44. We were at that point where I could say, hey, customer, you know, let's say we didn't have a service bulletin. There was nothing on Identifix. Nobody's talking about it on any of the other platforms. Nothing on the internet. And we just call the customer and say, hey, customer, you know, here's what we found. We do have your window working, which is what you asked for. The short that's blowing that fuse is on, appears to be on this wireless charging pad circuit. You know, lots of wire, lots of bends, lots of connections, lots of places it can go. We could have 1 to 6 hours into it, maybe 6 or 7. You know, and then just explain that to them and let them make a decision. All you can do is inform them. And then just tell them, you have no idea. I don't know where it is, lady. And that's it. But I know one thing. I don't know how that cover goes back on, but I want you to get out of your covers. If you're under them, go into that comment section. Put some clothes on first. Find us on the Insta, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.